Pearce. Our fresh approaches will expand and elevate humanity. Now join me with today's very, very special guest. Now let's get on with the show. Wow, and welcome to this exciting eFactor edition with my special guest, Kenji Kumara. It's been a number of years since we've been together. The last time was on the Healthy, Wealthy Evolution, my Telesummit series. And we are reconnecting to give you some great insights and great information that is timely for this day and age. So what we're going to be doing is stepping into the gap with Kenji, and he is known as the Quantum Light Weaver, and Kenji brings practical shamanism to assist with getting us through the day-to-day world and transcending troubles. So many people today are seeking enlightenment and empowerment and feel that they need to follow gurus and experiencing life-altering events or hit rock bottom to become a healer or a teacher. But is it really necessary? That's one of the great mysteries we're going to be exploring today on this eFactor. Join us right after this commercial break, and we'll be right back with Kenji.
Vibrant health and anti-aging is possible with the Swiss Bionic PEMF system. You can turn back the hands of time with this amazing system, which has a medical device license from Health Canada. Rejuvenate your cells by reducing the ravages of radiation and the risks of chronic illness, fatigue, and so much more in just 8 minutes per day. Find out more about the Swiss Bionic PEMF system at PEMFglobal.com or call Allie at 905-465-0753.
And PEMF Global is one of our esteemed sponsors. So if you have any questions and want to break through the electromagnetic field smog effects that are happening all around us these days and the health ravages from them, please connect with Ali Ox. And here we are now with this amazing session with Kenji Kumara. Hi, Kenji. Welcome to eFactor.
Hello, Brenda, and hello, everyone.
It's wonderful to have you here. It's been a long time since we've been on the airwaves together, and I am just, so amazed with the advancements that you have been making with the quantum light weaving and all that you do. And so it's a thrill to have you here because we have a really timely topic to talk about, and it's that gap. What's in that gap, Kenji?
A lot of gapness. Comedy team's already here. They seem to come in at the very beginning of these things. Well, many people are being triggered by world events. Whether they watch it or not, it's still in the atmosphere. It's in the body of the earth. It's in our field. And the beauty of it, although, witnessing people go through these tremendous hardships, if you will, it's not easy to see that. But the beauty of it is it's triggering everything that's in the gap, that's preventing one from being and acting in the world in a very authentic, real way. That's how I see it.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Everybody is, feeling this wall. Like there's a wall and there's this goal or dream on the other side of that wall. And this wall that's there, it's like the Matrix movie, isn't it, Kenji?
Exactly. Yeah. How many of us are stuck in the Matrix and don't realize it? And if we do realize it, how are we going to get out? Do we need a guide or what? What's going on here? Yeah, that movie is very timely today. So in a way, yes, we have been veiled in a way, and we know there's something on the other side, and how do we get to it, and how do we become it, and how do we manifest it? Yeah, that's the question.
Yeah,
so I
exactly.
feel the easiest way is to give yourself permission to just be your soulful self, as opposed to your ego self. That's in survival, perhaps, and a lot of questioning and monkey mind chatter and all of that.
Yeah. I really see it very strongly. So many people are experiencing that, but I find our young people today are even more troubled with that than, say, generations below, before, when I was a child. It seemed a little bit more streamlined. You did this, this, and this, and you got this and this. And now today, even with our advancements in technology and the information systems that are all around us, people seem to be more in a daze or more confused than ever before. Do you find that to be true?
Electromagnetic fog from all of technology, yes. Yeah, in a way. Well, let's just put it this way. There is, I believe, a small percentage of these younger generations that have their act together and know where they want to go in the world and what they want to offer and all that, and they have no trouble making money, manifesting. And there is I don't know, I would say a fair proportion of this younger generation that are so sensitive that they hide their gifts and their talents, and they can't live necessarily in big cities. That's understandable. And then there's a majority of this generation that looks at the world and goes, what the heck? What am I doing here? Is it worth it? Because they're sensing all this chaos and confusion, and if they don't have guidance and feedback and a support system, they can feel very much lost in this. So you have to remember, in our day, dating ourselves, the atmosphere didn't have all this fear that it does now, from 9/11 especially. And so this generation has to navigate through this energy that can be really everywhere all the time until you learn how to transcend it and not be affected by it. And that's the key. How do we transcend this so we're not affected by all of this electromagnetic smog from everything that's electronic? And since that generation lives off electronics, if you don't protect yourself or if you don't create a strong immune system in your body, you're going to be affected. And you're going to come down with these symptoms that medicine will have a hard time diagnosing, let alone treating.
Wow. Well, it's
including
true,
fibromyalgia, which is kind of like an unknown. Well, let's just give it that name because you're in a lot of pain and we don't know how to treat it.
Right. Well, and the thing is, too, in medical world these days, the stats were that by 2020, 1 in every 2 people would be experiencing some form of cancer, and we've already met that milestone. So, it's really becoming more and more evident. We need to know, that we have the power, right, Kenji? We have the power to make changes happen in our lives. But, again, we need to know that we are empowered and empower ourselves to make those choices and decisions. Is that not true?
That is true. And really, everyone's homework is to look at their life and to know where they've given away their power. Whether it's to your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your spouse, your kids, your parents, your guru or teacher, your psychic, your healer, whatever it is. There's many, many ways in which we don't live in our power, and it's really unconscious. We're not really aware of it. So really the homework is to become conscious, is to become awake.
It is, and everybody's journey is unique. They don't have to go through a life-altering experience in order to waken up, right, Kenji?
Well, near-death experiences or the wake-up call can be very beneficial, especially if you know what that is. Oh, I just got this wake-up call through this whiplash injury, or wow, that was a near-death experience I had. I went to the light and I had to come back. Okay, now what do I do? Well, usually one becomes a teacher of sorts in sort of explaining to people that aren't conscious of that other level that, hey, here's this other realm, and yeah, you don't really die. Your consciousness will never die. So, we have a lot of imprinting program from the church, from the school system, from medicine, It goes back into past lives, goes back into early childhood. And we have to become aware that, oh, that particular belief that I bought when I was 3 years old, that's affecting me now. Oh, wow. Had no clue up until this now moment. So really, the awakening process is lifelong. It's just going to be ongoing. Every day, we can become a little bit more aware than yesterday. So with awareness comes this ability, naturally, to just be yourself. And how many of us try to be something that we're not, especially in the healing arts field, trying to be the healer that really we're not, or the spiritual teacher that we're not.
Yeah, it's interesting, right? We all think that we have to evolve to that kind of a guru level or experience guru lifestyle in order to be enlightened, but really it's at each person's level, isn't it? And so it's really important for us to be self-aware and self-loving too. Isn't that a key factor?
Well, loving all the parts of us, yes. Yes, all the so-called negative parts and the positive parts is loving all aspects of us and not carrying the guilt anymore of something that we should have done that we didn't, or something that we did do that we would regret. So yeah, guilt will keep you in the matrix. Guilt and shame and the feeling that I'm not quite good enough, so I better go study to be better. You're already better. You were born better. Now, it might have got spanked out of you at an early age or abused out of you from an adult at an early age, but we're so strong we can overcome those things. Actually, we are the most powerful. Well, we are the most powerful presence in our world because it's our world. So we are. We are the teacher in our world. We are our own healer.
So we don't have to aspire to be more than who we are in order to be enlightened or to be evolving into this. The world is evolving anyway, and we're always on the leading edge, aren't we? So really, every moment, every one of us is discovering and uncovering more of ourselves as we take that next breath and that next step. And, and so your message is really timely in that, that this is going to help so many people to understand that they're perfect just the way they are.
As they accept themselves fully, in this moment.
There.
And it doesn't mean you can't be different like 5 minutes from now. Mm-hmm. Yes. Just so long as one holds the intention that I am changing every day. Yeah, so say if we go through a dark period, everyone's gone through many dark episodes in a sense of where they say, where's the light? And like, oh my God, how am I going to get out of this mess? And somehow you do, though. Somehow you make it through. So we have to continually have the trust and the knowing that even though we can't see God, in a sense, in our life, we can still feel God presence in our life. Mm-hmm. And it's that feeling that will move us through the darkness, through the hurricanes, the earthquakes, through the bankruptcy, through the divorce, through devastating injury where you got ran over by a car and messed up your brain. You can make it through all these things.
Yes, and what doesn't kill us makes us stronger. That phrase is very true, isn't it? Well, you know yourself. You've been through a lot. To get to where you are now, you had to really travel through and study and learn and experience yourself. So I know originally when you were a younger man, you were a school teacher. And
I was a credential teacher, yes. Love kids. Love working with kids.
Yeah. And then you went on this exodus of study and uncovering and discovering so much about life that has brought you to here and now. And during that time, you did experience all aspects of life, didn't you? I sure did.
Right. people used to tell me, I think when I was in my 30s, and I was the seeker extraordinaire. I mastered the art of seeking, seeking anything and everything that was called spiritual and healing and cosmic and transformative and way out there, leading edge, out of the box kind of thinking. And what was my point? Well, I was, not necessarily did I have really close people to chat with, fireside chat kind of thing, but I had to rely on my own sense of where I was going. And it wasn't easy. For many decades, it was very hard. It was literally like climbing up a mountain alone, rock by rock, step by step, falling occasionally into a crevice, and then having to climb your way out. And, had my share of near-death experiences and pretty much all the heavy things that people go through or are going through. And somehow with very little money through all those decades, I somehow made it through. And I don't know, I can't tell you how. Some part of me just trusted enough to know that I wasn't going to go homeless for the second time or have to do bankruptcy for the second time or any of that. Once is enough. Okay, thank you very much. I learned from that. Well, what did I learn? Well, in a way, I kind of learned to be more aware of how you spend your money and where you put your money, and the kind of people that you need not hang out with, as well as the ones to hang out with. So really it was a test not only of my faith, but it was a test of my trusting my intuition. And that's everybody's biggest bugaboo, I believe. Right now, well, there's probably three main ones. Is trust, and in trusting your intuition, your sense of things, and not to give your power away because somebody says something and that makes a lot of sense to your mind, and then you make a decision on that. That could get you in a lot of trouble in the long run. But, we learned from that. We learned that, okay, I made a choice on that logical part of my mind. It didn't lead me anywhere. So I better open up and look for or receive a better way to know about things. So really, I think everybody's being challenged by who and what to trust and where to trust it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I'll give you an example. The reason why divorce rates are so high on the planet, it's more than what they advertise in statistics. My feeling is it is closer probably to 85%, the true divorce rate.
Wow.
But why do we get married and then divorced? Well, I've talked to enough people to realize that, because I asked them, well, what was your feeling sense of this person before you got married or even at the marriage ceremony and all that? And, a lot of them come back and go, well, there was this kind of like red flag and, and they didn't trust it.
Yeah.
Because the power of peer pressure, of cultural mass belief, tribal thinking is so strong that if you go against it, you could be banished from the community. And I'm being a little allegoric here. But, one of the things that is very scary for people is to be banished from the tribe.
Yeah.
That could be your family. That could be your community of friends. Ridiculed. Shamed. That is one of the most devastating things that can happen to us here in our bodies. And I have heard so many horror stories from religion that, when I still hear it, I shake my head and go, oh my God, really? Yeah, things that people have said to other people that have shut them down and made them feel very small and insignificant.
Yeah.
We have to rise above that now, though, because we're not little kids anymore. We're not teenagers, or we're not 18.
Yeah. Yeah, this is the thing, right? Really, giving away your power is such a big, big thing, and sometimes we just fall into it because we're born into it, and we don't realize that that we're in hook, line, and sinker before we even realize that we had a choice.
Yeah, look at the movie The Matrix, and when Keanu Reeves, when he was starting to be told the truth, and he wouldn't believe it. He had resistance.
Yeah.
He wanted to know how. Well, you don't necessarily need to know how to get out of the Matrix, but it was all those kind of like logical questioning.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and his mind played tricks on him, and his mind went back and forth in a sense of, do I take the red pill or the blue pill? What's going to happen?
Yeah, exactly. Wow. Yeah, and people don't like change. People are resistive to change too, Kenji.
Well, the ego kind of doesn't like it. Our soul loves change. But since the ego was taught at a very early age to be stable and to have everything in order, in one sense it's good, but the kind of order that we were conditioned to accept was one where, order of you fit in and don't cause waves. You just be an A student and you'll get the job when you get out of college. And as all these college graduates know, you don't always get the job that you were trained to do in college. You get PhDs working at Starbucks because they can't get a job. Oh, my God.
Yeah. Yeah, it's amazing, isn't it? Yeah, and you had another point, too, about one of the things that are keeping us stuck as well?
Well, let me see. It's that belief in yourself, in your higher power, that's going to lead you through all this. And see, your soul, when it comes through, doesn't give you a logical, okay, this is why we're doing what we're going to do. You just, it brings you a feeling, and if you trust the feeling, it's that feeling of connection, oneness, the warm fuzzy in your chest, to keep it very simple. So if you get an impression that makes you question, like go into your mind, it might not be from your soul. You will know, though, when it comes from your soul, because it's just going to be right on, and then you have to trust it. And then you have to act on it. And a lot of people are stuck on the fence. How do I act on this? Well, you just do it. It's that Nike commercial. Just do it. And so what if you make mistakes? You're going to get up again and keep walking. See, some people are afraid to make mistakes and to fall down and hurt themselves. The image thing. It's the image thing. But that's how
or they also have someone who loves them so much that doesn't want them to fall down and insulates them or isolates them in terms of their exploration.
Yeah, that can be true, too. Yeah, until some point when the person goes, okay, I really got to get out of the box here and go explore. But you'll learn how to do it in balance rather than extremes. Because a lot of times when we get, for the first time when we get out of the box, we go to extremes. And then, like, we lose money or we make a business decision and go, oh, my God, what was I thinking when I did that? So, you really have to use common sense. I just love that phrase, common sense. We have to go back to our common sense about spirituality. Not everybody's going to be this rock star healer type spiritual guru. See, you could do that just being yourself. You could be working at Starbucks. I'm picking on Starbucks. You could be working at Starbucks behind the counter and be really spiritual by being yourself and connecting with people. That's healing in itself because people are craving for connection. They're starving for this spiritual connection experience. Where do I get it? I can't meditate because I got too many thoughts in my head. Oh, maybe I'll shave my head and go live in a cave in Tibet, huh? What?
You can do anything and do it well.
Yeah. You could be the master of whatever you do, and that to me is a sign of a master. So it doesn't have to be that. See, the spiritual quest, the spirituality game, really has a lot of pitfalls. And it has a lot of, beware kind of things. You really got to be aware and not buy into most of the stuff that's being offered. You've got to really use your common sense and go, okay, that feels right, and that doesn't. So I'm not going to buy that, which doesn't feel good. But this, it feels good. I'm going to buy it because it just feels good, and it makes my soul sing. So whatever your dharma is, it's going to make your heart sing. That's how you know if you're on your path or not. If you're laboring on your spiritual vision path and you're not really completely happy, then maybe that's not it. Maybe you need to go back to common sense and go, what is my passion? See, people ask me all the time, I don't know what to do, Kenji. And I say, what brings you joy? Do it, because Joseph Campbell hit it right on the head. He says, follow your bliss. Well, what brings you joy? Do that for a living. I don't care if you don't have a degree in that. Shoot, there's so many people that have created their own companies doing what they love, and these are just things that we would consider not spiritual, but they are, because they're helping people. And the people that are doing it are loving it. See, that's what we need to get into. We need to really start embracing what brings us joy and do it. Don't do something that you're not equipped to do. We were born with all the equipment that we ever need for our life path. And we have to find it. So that takes a little bit of homework and introspection and going within. Can't read it in books. Books aren't going to tell you.
Right.
Neither is your cell phone texting. That was a little humor inserted there.
Absolutely. Yes. Sometimes we have to actually put the technology down in order to disengage from everybody else's messages and really discover ourselves, right?
Well, unfortunately, I say unfortunately until we really wake up, this whole technology thing is hurting us. It's hurting the kids when in elementary school they're already on a computer and they don't know even how to write a coherent sentence. They know how to type it. And so they're exposed to all those electromagnetics and all that programming and imprinting. What's going to happen when they're 25 and all they know is the computer and their cell phone? See, it's taken us away from our nature connection, which is a part of our God connection. So if we lose that nature connection, we're doomed. As a species, as a collective on this planet, if we lose our nature connection, sayonara, going to start all over again on another planet called Earth.
Yeah.
We have to keep that connection.
True, because we need that sensorial thing, right? The feeling of cursive writing. They don't even teach cursive writing in school anymore. So it's an art form. It's sensorial. It's connecting. It's your thoughts with that piece of paper through that pencil or pen. And we need to get back to nature and get back to the basics, right? Reading, writing, and arithmetic. There's nothing wrong with that.
Here's the thing that I noticed in my day, in my earlier days. There were some schools of thought which I really related to. One was underwater birthing. Two was that babies need to go through the cross-crawl thing. They need to get on the rug and crawl and put things in their mouth and all of that. And the way that some kids are raised deprives them of their brain development emotionally and sensorially. So if they didn't crawl a lot when they were babies and toddlers, and if they were taught to mentally start thinking before the age of 8, they could have delayed development even as adults. So that would express themselves as emotional immaturity, cognitive failures in certain levels, inability to reason, and would have health issues. So it really goes back. I mean, there's so many aspects to be aware of, starting with your birthing. But that's for another online series or retreat. But it's like
exactly.
You know, how to correct these imbalances that we grew up with. That's a big challenge. And sure, I believe in miracles. I believe literally in overnight miracles. And some people will get it. But many of us have to go through the stages of awakening and healing and do our homework. Because you don't want to recreate those karmic patterns again. So if a lesson, a life lesson, was taken away from you through a healing, how are you going to become aware of what caused it in the first place, and what's going to prevent you from not creating it again in another lifetime or 10 years from now? See, so sometimes what we pray for isn't always the best for us, and God gives us what we're ready for. So if people keep praying for healing and they're not getting it, well, they have to look on another level. Like, okay, where's your homework? And here's the thing with this younger generation and even the older generation today. Want instant gratification, instant enlightenment, instant whatever. Doesn't work that way. You have to do your homework. You can have the workshop high. What's going to happen 2 weeks after your workshop is over and you start to like backslide or go back into the doldrums? What does that mean? That means you didn't do your homework.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I'm a big fan of homework.
People who win the lottery too, right? They blow their winnings because they weren't prepared for it when they had prayed for it, for sure. Yeah, you see examples
I don't
of it all
know,
around.
Can't speak about that, but yeah, you've heard some horror stories, but let's just hope that they use their money wisely and are helping people with that money, yeah.
Right. Yeah. Well, it's an interesting, it's really nice to have this kind of conversation with you because your wisdom from your experiences really has led you to help so many people to just be practical about this and gentle about it. And, yes, never stop doing your homework. Always being a student of the life experience is really key. I just wanted to take a moment, Kenji, and you've brought a free gift, beautiful package of audios and activations, and we're going to do an activation very shortly. But I wondered if you could take a moment and explain to the audience the free access to Illuminate Your Light series.
Well, it's actually, what is it called? I think Illuminate Your Light series. All right, so that was kind of an online series we did back, I think, around 2014. It got lost in Instant Teleseminar, and nobody ever wrote up anything about it, so we kind of forgot about it. And then we rediscovered it. So we made a package out of it. So it's fairly new on the Internet, so to speak. Probably a couple of months new. Mm-hmm. What I wanted to do with this was to bring more illumination to various aspects in people's lives, to shed more light on it. So that's why we called it what we did. Even further illuminate your light. So in a lot of these online events that we've done over the years, some of them are pretty esoteric in a sense, but also try to be very practical, using common sense with these activations and presentations. So in the titles of the activations, we try to title it to get the essence of that activation. And these were almost an hour activations, actually. They were fairly long. Most people will zone out and not remember, and that's all right. But so we set some light on receiving, how to open up the body and the mind to receive, because a lot of people have a hard time with that, have a hard time with opening up due to trauma and every other thing you can think of that would shut you down and keep you in the matrix. And activation 2 was, the focus there was on bringing the light of transformation into your pain points and into those parts that have kept you stuck. And we did a quantum reset. That's always different, how we phrase the reset. But it literally is that. It's helping you to reset everything, from the very physical to the very spiritual, everything in between. So it takes into consideration all of your subtle bodies. And we went into your spiritual anatomy in activation 4, which a lot of people don't do. They don't go into that, probably because they don't know of it. But you have spiritual levels of your anatomy that we addressed and worked with in the activation, manifesting your dream that was bringing more light into your soul purpose. And journey into oneness, you always like to kind of save a really good activation for the last one. So that's a journey deep into the quantum, in that feeling of connection of oneness. And usually what people experience when they're done with an activation, many people get really blissed out and kind of are in that zone for a while. That's good. But we always encourage people to then begin to embody that feeling of blissfulness, because, you've got to balance your checkbooks and drive your car and go to work and all that. So we always emphasize this thing about grounding and embodying what you are receiving. A lot of people go through some tremendous healing experiences. Some will experience a healing crisis. Not all will, but many might. And just know that is a part of the healing process, where your symptoms, your issues will get magnified. And like one person said, I thought I was supposed to feel really blissful and peaceful, and I'm feeling really agitated right now from that activation. Well, guess what? We help that person to get in touch with that which has caused her the sense of agitation. Oh, and by the way, that is a good word to express what people are feeling right now due to world events, this sense of agitation. And they can't sleep.
Yeah, that's wonderful. I remember years ago when we did our interviews, I would bliss right out during the conversation, and amazingly come back really content and blissful. And yes, there is a lot of agitation out there. So connecting with your bliss, just like Joseph Campbell says, it is so important for us to know that experience of bliss in our life, so that when we go through the hard times, we can anchor back to that feeling of blissfulness and know that it's all okay and we're going to be okay.
Exactly. Dr. Trigger used to teach the way that you bring back the feeling of connection is by recall, simply going into meditation and just remembering what was it like to receive that trigger session, to where at the end you just felt so incredibly ecstatic and blissed out, and like, what body, what heaviness, what body, or you just felt this light and this love and this sense of connection and this sense of where you can do anything. Yeah, and the homework part is, okay, let's apply it now into our daily life. So let's apply it to raising our kids. Let's apply it to working at Whole Foods and all of that. So we now know through quantum theory, as a way to express these kind of truths, is that whatever you focus on, that's what you're going to get in your experiences. So if we make a conscious effort to focus on the oneness and the bliss that is us, we're going to experience that. And we're going to experience people that also carry that kind of awareness.
That's right.
If we focus too much on what's not right and our problems, we're just going to create more depression and more sense of, oh, God, I'm really stuck in the matrix now. Yeah. Well, there's choices.
So to connect with this amazing series of activations that Kenji's put together, it's amazing hours worth of, and the beauty is you can go back and listen to this over and over and over again and enjoy it for yourself. you go to KenjiKumara.com. So that's KenjiKumara.com/eFactor-show. So eFactor, eFactor-show. And that will get you to this amazing page. You can connect if you're listening through social media. Connect on the link that's posted. If you're listening to this episode, wherever, whenever, however, go to the show description and the link is there. So many, many ways to get into your bliss zone with Kenji and the amazing activations. So Kenji, I thank you for putting it together, first of all, being the man to bring it to us today, and for all the amazing results that people are going to be experiencing by stepping into their oneness and feeling that lightness that really is our natural birthright. We are not meant to be stuck and painful and fearful and all that, but yeah, it can be a transformative key to the future and what options and opportunities exist. So with that, Kenji, I know that you promised to do an activation here and now on the show, and wonder if you could lead us through one of your activations, which are just so absolutely awesome. And before we get started, I just want to let anybody know that if they're driving or doing anything heavy or dangerous or intricate, please put that stuff all away and just really concentrate on the here and now with Kenji. I promise you an experience you won't forget.
Okay, I have one question, Brenda. How many minutes will I have for this?
Oh, yes. We want to make sure that we are timely with this. Hold on. Let me just get back to the screen. We have 15 minutes.
Okay, so here we go, folks.
And then we have a 3-minute for closing.
Okay. So let's have our bodies in a comfortable position, and you can lie down for this if you wish. So we're going to breathe very deeply. We're going to inhale through the nose, and when you exhale, either exhale through the nose or the mouth, but take a deep breath in through the nose, fresh prana, and you're going to take in the light. Believe it or not, the light's there in the prana, and the sound is there too, as well. Light and sound always go together. Thunder and lightning. All right, breathing in, and we're going to relax all of the facial muscles. And then slowly exhale. So just letting go of the stress and tension in your forehead, your eyelids, your jaw, your tongue, base of your skull, your neck. Relaxing the body all the way down through the fingers and the toes, through the thighs, through the belly. Dropping the shoulders. And just be here now. So you are here, you are now, you are. I am, you are. So feel that. I am here, I am now, I am. Okay, bring your focus to the solar plexus. Feel that as your core in your body. That's connected to your still point in the back of your physical heart. And connected to your pineal gland in your brain. Connected to your thymus gland in your chest. So you're going to breathe out all worry, absolutely all sense of worry about your future, about what's happening now, about your to-do list, everything. Just let it go. I am now letting go of all worry. Feel as if it's draining through your feet down into the core of the earth. Keep breathing through your solar plexus. As you begin to acknowledge and accept and embody the power that you are, the power to change, the power to discover, the power to learn, the power to change. Continue to let go of all sense of worry. So that would include anxiety, all levels of stress and tension. Letting go of the future and letting go of the past. Now, from your solar plexus, you're going to bring your focus to your third eye, your pineal gland, and you're going to begin to activate it through your knowing. I now activate my pineal to the next level of clear sight, clear seeing. Feel as if your pineal gland is resonating with the vibrations of the central sun. Illuminating the brain, bringing the light, the illumination into those parts of your brain that you haven't used in quite a while. So these would be the unused portions of your brain. Allowing the sensation of vibrations in your brain. Now take that illumination and focus it down into the heart center. And feel and imagine that you have many sacred chambers within your heart. And the light that's coming through your pineal gland from the great central sun is beginning to illuminate these unused portions or chambers within your heart. Activating the power of compassion and self-love, the power of forgiveness, power of gratitude, and power for the body to begin to heal itself, to bring itself back into natural balance. Now, bring awareness to your hand chakras. There are power points in your hand chakras. There are healing channels within your hands. So you're going to allow an activation of the healing power that flows through your hands and your fingertips, palms of your hands. And as you do this, you're going to put both palms of your hands on two different parts of your body that's hurting, or that's been injured, or that's been diagnosed with a medical condition. And just simply lay your hands on that part of your body. That could also include your eyeballs. If you are having challenges with your eyesight, blood pressure, you would put it on your pancreas. High blood pressure, you would put it in reference to your kidneys and adrenal glands. Overweight, that would be your liver. Digestive issues, just put it by your belly button. Bring your focus now to the soles of your feet. You have big chakras, power points in your feet. Open those portals up to be very big. And you're going to reground with the earth, with nature, with all the elements of nature. Your body has all the elements of nature. You're going to reconnect with nature, and you're going to ask Earth Mother to help you with regrounding so that at some point you can be a completely soul-embodied human. Now feel the space below your feet and claim the space below your feet. You're going to own it. Take a deep breath and move your awareness now, keeping your grounding at your solar plexus. You're going to own the space above your head. All that space above your head. You're going to reclaim it and own it. And anybody that's in your space that's not supposed to be there, just gently kick them out. You are the only one that has access to your space, nobody else. Now take a deep breath and claim the space to your left. The whole space to your left side. Claim it, reclaim it. Now the right side, same thing. All that space to the right of you. Reclaim it. Now you are coordinating these spaces through your solar plexus. That's your central governing point. Keep your awareness there. And now diagonally, going from, let's say, 8 o'clock to 2 o'clock. Reclaim that space. And also 4 o'clock and 10 o'clock, using the clock as a reference point. So you are reclaiming the diagonal points in your field. Now you're going to recalibrate your Merkaba, your body of light. The correct spin should be clockwise and counterclockwise. So it's like having two pyramids rotating and counter-rotating. So you're going to recalibrate through your knowing your correct spin of your Merkaba. And there's a core vertical field that runs right through your Merkaba. So with your knowing, you're going to strengthen that pure white. It is as if you are recalibrating your north axis and your south axis, like how the planet rotates on an axis. You are recalibrating your Merkaba axis. Correct spin and correct rotation. Connected to the field of oneness, Christ consciousness. Connected with the core of the earth, for the earth changes, for the new earth frequencies. Okay, deep breath. Now we're going to come back. Full presence with your body. Coming back. Clear. more focused, more centered, more grounded, more of who you are. So let this continue until complete. Remember to drink some water when you are done. Give yourself time to rest after this activation. You may want to take a nap. And please make sure you're fully grounded before driving in your car tonight. All of our guides send their blessings to you, to your higher self, to your inner child. Many blessings. Namaste.
Namaste. Thank you, Kenji. What a beautiful, beautiful activation. So peaceful and blissful. And yes, I zoned out again. You are the master of zoning people out. This is for sure.
I'm going to put this zoning master here in comments. Oh, God.
Exactly. It was exactly what I needed. Thank you. And I know that our listeners are going to just want to listen to this again and again. So thank you from the bottom of my heart.
You're welcome.
Just knowing that all is okay and that we are okay and that everything that we are experiencing is only temporary and we can get through anything if we just put our mind to it, listen to that intuitive voice within ourselves, be gentle and kind with ourselves, and know that everything that we are born with, we have the tools within us, right, Kenji?
We do. That's what Jesus said. That's what Buddha said. We forgot.
Yeah, but we are remembering, and thank you for being that reminder for all of us to know that that message is true. Thousands of years of experience have gotten us to this point now, but all is not lost. Don't let the fear factor get you. It's our time to really rise beyond the fear and be who we really want to be in this world. So, Kenji, we have just a couple of minutes left, and before we go, do you have anything else? Any last words of your deep understanding that you can share with us today?
Well, just know all is well, and you not only are doing it, but you will make it through all of this. You will make it through.
That's beautiful. Simple. It's simple, really. But the simple things are not always the clearest or the easiest for us to understand until we are at that point where we can listen and really understand that. So, Kenji, I just really want to thank you again. And you have, on the special offer page, there's an opportunity for people in the top right to actually join the Quantum Light Weavers group. Can you tell us a little bit about that as well?
Oh, the Joyful Light Weavers membership program? Yes. Connecting our soul family. It's designed to build our soul family connection, especially for all those that feel a little bit like, boy, where's my tribe? And I need someone to talk to, and I need to be around like-minded people. When you join energetically, you'll be connected. So that energy is always running every day in that membership program for people to tap into and tune into, and it's at a very affordable price. And we have a lot of free things in that program, a lot of discounts, and we have a special October offer for all those that will be joining for October, for the month of October. And for those people that want more advanced work, I am now offering Sedona retreats here locally. So any of you that really want to get, the image of a very juicy ribeye steak came to mind. But for those vegetarians, how about a nice mushroom vegetarian dinner with organic, non-GMO, non-sugary mousse?
That sounds so good.
Just made that up.
It's a buffet for the soul.
It is. It's a buffet for the soul. We should do that. That's the title actually for another retreat, Buffet for the Soul. Thank you. I'm going to write that down.
Well, I know whenever we get together, there's a lot of energy, a lot of ideas that kind of pass between us, and it's always a great, great pleasure to have this opportunity to be with you. It's been way too long, and we'll have to make that happen a little more often. But again, ask everybody to go to kenjikumara.com/eFactor-show, and that will get you this amazing buffet for the soul for now, for all the beautiful activations that Kenji has put forward, and the Joyful Lightweavers group, and for anybody that's looking for greater connections and that sort of thing. Finding your tribe is really part of the journey as well. So, Kenji, I just want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart. It's been a pleasure, and we'll connect again soon.
Okay, thank you very much, Darrow. It's great to connect with you again and your beautiful audience.
Thank you. Okay, so this wraps up hour 1 of this 2-hour power session here on eFactor Radio today. And as such, stay tuned for DC Love and the Power Hour of Psychic Readings and Divine Healing and Love. So thank you all for listening, and we'll talk and connect soon. Bye for now.